about that, you guys. Thank you so much for your patience. It wouldn't be a stream without some technical difficulties. I'm not entirely sure where we left off. So I'll rewind a little bit. We will go back to when you guys first entered and saw Burvu. Currently, Achilles has somehow procured 2 bottles of wine from his pants. I don't know. But the group is sitting down, feeling like their mission was a waste of time, and Burvu has asked all of them to sit down. You guys know, first and foremost, that I hate sending you on missions that are bullshit. You know this about me. Okay? So I did not mean to send you on that mission to get bullshit answers. Literally.
Okay, excellent. What's our next mission?
I have to give you context. I know you hate the long explanations, Jason. I get it. Okay. This is intel from your wife, by the way, so thank her for that one. Because, good lord, she's some of the best in the business.
I know.
Okay. Medea told me that it's becoming increasingly clear that us not having land routes is fucking us. And Earl Queen is pissed. And when the Queen of Hell comes up to tell you that she's pissed, we have a problem. How long have you guys been in this squad now?
10 years.
Too fucking long. And Min's gonna actually, like, take one of Achilles' bottles of wine and go and sit on Jason's lap and kick her feet up. Too fucking long. And I swear to God, if you send us... If you ever say that Medea's better than me again, who's...
I did not say she was better than you. I said she's the best in the biz. You're the best in your biz, bitch. You can't do what she does. She can't do what you do.
So territorial.
I feel like Achilles next to Persephone, just kind of nudging the shoulders like, yeah, this is gonna get good.
I wonder how long it is until she fucking loses her shit today.
You see that Burvu goes, we're pushing hard, harder than we've ever pushed before. We're thinking of launching an all-out assault within the next week, but we don't have the information or the trade routes we have, and we can't launch a good assault unless we cut off some of their supply shit. How do you guys feel about parties?
Achilles immediately jumps up at the mention of a party. You have my attention.
I think we can handle a party.
What kind of party are we talking about?
Persephone asks the right questions. Don't get too fucking excited. And you see that she pulls out a book and starts leafing through it, and kind of like tucks a strand of hair behind her horn, and she just goes, Crested Nest School. He's a dragonborn merchant, and he has a trade route basically over some of the Hiberia suburbs that goes into Grivenworth. For those of you who don't know where Grivenworth is like a circular area with all kinds of forests and stuff, and Hiberia is the capital and lots of suburbs and things like that. And she says, Crested has control over this entire area, and he has a kick-ass huge mansion. He worships Kusiyu, the monkey prankster one. Here's the problem. He's neutral as fuck.
So we have to get him on our side.
Yep. Your job, get dressed up. Don't get too fucking drunk. She looks at you, Achilles. And convince this guy that what we're offering is better than the Celestials. Because Earl Queen pulled out all the fucking stops. They're gonna give him a seat of power in Infernalia when he dies, if he signs up for this shit. Like, 6 level of hell shit.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, that's better than our deal.
I know.
Right?
Speak for
Do
yourself.
work.
Look. I need you to travel here tonight. I know. I just sent you out. But I have the fucking Queen of Hell blowing smoke up my ass.
We'll be there.
Do you need take the time? You've got like it's about 1 in the afternoon right now. You got a few hours. Get ready. Talk to whoever you need to talk to, and then 6 o'clock sharp. I've got a carriage for you. Take you to his manor. Wine and dine the fuck out of him. Okay?
I think we can do that.
I think me and Minerva can do that.
Yeah. You boys are just arm candy. It's okay. Make sure you wear your best tunic, Achilles.
Look, he might be into that. I don't know.
Excuse me,
man
I'm
likes to find-
charismatic as fuck.
I mean, you're not wrong, much as I hate to admit it. It's why I made you the first one on this fucking squad. Oh, she looks at you, Persephone, and you, Achilles. Don't linger if he brings up where you guys are from. The moment he starts talking about where you guys came from, that you used to be celestial, get him off that topic immediately. Understood?
Got it.
Say so, B.
She takes one of the bottles of wine and goes, thanks, and walks out the door.
Achilles walked into this room with 2 bottles of wine and is leaving with none.
100%.
Yeah.
One in Minerva's hand, one went to Burbu. It's gone.
Taking it with. I gotta do my hair, man.
All right. We need to do research on this guy as well. Make sure we know what's up about him. Can I look at the stuff on the table and see if Burvu left us any notes about this guy? Because if we're gonna wine and dine him, we're gonna need information about him.
100%. You see the book in front of you that she left. You see there is a portrait of this black dragonborn. It's kind of like, it's almost a little like a fucking Tinder profile. Like, it's very much like he really enjoys, like, he keeps super aged wine that's very rare. He has a huge library, but that has some of the like books that are out of print and not found anywhere else in Romithra. He's got a huge like animal menagerie that he keeps all kinds of beasts in. He has a weapons collection that's more decorative than anything else.
Does it
Like-
say? Does it rank any of these in terms of favorites? Like, is there? He seems like he's a big collector. Is there anything in particular that stands out that would be very notable as a collection that he is particularly interested in?
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check, if you would be so kind.
Can I also roll?
Do you want to help him, or do you want to roll individually?
I almost think it would be better for me to help Minerva because I assume you're gonna like have a higher intelligence than I am.
Show me.
Yes.
What does it look like?
Okay, so I would like that. So I'm still seated on Jason's lap.
I forgot about
so-
that.
Okay, and I mean, for context, Jason is relatively tall and Minerva is short. So she's actually, because if she leans too far forward, gravity will topple her over. And she's like, so what she does is she like, Jason, she's gonna like hook her feet behind your calves so she can lean forward. And she's gonna pull all these papers. And I would just like to, because it seems like based on the 4 collections that are in front of us, we each fit one of these profiles to a T. So I would like to line them up in front of us, and then kind of shifting them over. So I would like to almost essentially use like a collective investigation check, even though I'll roll for it. But for each of us to review the pages that are more geared towards us. So Achilles, you get the wine. Jason, you're gonna get the weapons. Persephone, you're gonna get the animals, and I'll obviously take the library.
And this is why Laura gets 10 out of fucking 10 for automatically figuring out what the fuck I just did. Make me that investigation check with advantage.
Okay. That's a nat 20 for a total of 30.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go around the circle, and all of you all can get a moment to reflect, if you would like. You each go ahead and take a look at your pages. Minerva has displayed this perfectly. Expertly. This is what Minerva does. Minerva, what does it look like when you're in, like, your perfect zone?
So very, very true to form. She pulls her hair like, so right, she's like sitting there, she's gonna pull her hair up, she twists it around, in like almost an expert knot. and um, just kind of lets it there. So very few of these white curls kind of fall and frame her face. Her eyes, they almost look like a river of lava flowing with shades of gold and orange. As she just like she's gonna look at it and she'll put her hands down. And it doesn't even look like she's taking in information. It's just like she's staring at nothing. And as she does, her hands just start moving the pages around. And she's talking in Infernal, making almost like anybody who doesn't speak Infernal, it sounds like incoherent, uncomfortable mumbling. But as she shuffles it off, she kind of like, Achilles, you need to read this and tell me if there's anything on here that it is something that you can't get. Jason, I need you to review this. And she's gonna like pass that page behind her back. Persephone across the table, I need you to look at these animals. Is there anything here that you are not familiar with or that you don't know? And then I want to review the information that I have about his library to see what style of reading he's into, because every book collector collects different styles of books. Minerva collects encyclopedias and linguistics, so is there something more to that effect? Or even by breaking down his library, is there something that the rest of our crew can kind of like put their information into?
We are going to start with Achilles. Achilles, as you peruse the wine list, it is liquors that the greatest Romithran sommelier would gouge his own eyeballs to get. You're looking at vintage wines from years before the war. You're looking at curated liquors from before Dreikershire, the agricultural center of Zella, had a name. One particular on this list strikes you. And for a second, you could swear you see the word Thetis. Thetis, spirits. No, it's not Thetis. That's Thesian? What goes through Achilles' head in this moment?
As Achilles is going through the list, and after that quick slip, you see him kind of looking past the paper that he's reading and flashing back to a training ground. Achilles, being about 6 or 7 years old, dodging spears, shoved by shields, knocked to the ground. Again, she says, as he's standing back up, panting.
Again, Achilles.
Little Achilles standing up, holding up his shield that is 2 sizes too big and a spear that is way too long for him.
Your
jabbing
mother
forward.
is this towering merfolk of a woman. She is the mother of merfolk. She is currently in her more water genasi form, and she is wearing a simple white dress, and she wades in the water of the beach near your home. Again, and she points at the target. You will hit the center or no dinner.
Just a small tear running down, holding it up, struggling, jabbing again for what feels like the 100th time that day.
Again. And you are brought back. Your conclusion from this list is there's nothing you don't know from it. It's good shit. It's probably more for the prestige. Not all of these are actually things that taste good. They're just rare. This gin that got distilled with water from the caves of the underground. This odd salty mixture amaretto that involved going to the Wilhelm Mountains and like digging out. Like it's all random. It's novelty stuff.
I'm gonna relay that to the group. It's like, okay, so he doesn't care what it tastes like as long as it like costs a little bit extra and has a fancy name.
Jason, you look over the weapons. A very similar vibe to what Achilles just went through. It's a lot of, this was the sword that one of the old gods himself used, or is it a replica? We don't know. We think Apu used it, but he's a cleric? I don't know. You see as you go down, there's stuff like, retrieved from Rapturalia, from the Celestials, used in the first part of the war. He's clearly a weapon collector. This isn't a man who has never lifted a dagger, let alone a cooking knife in his life.
Does he collect a particular type of weapon, like swords, daggers, or shields? Like
Looks like
a specific one thing? Is there
looks like a lot of swords. A lot of swords. And as you look, you almost feel the tingle of your own blade. And you hear almost like a haunting melody. You hear Orpheus singing a sea shanty from your distant memory.
I just continue looking at the list. Jason is not one to think about the past much. He is a very in the moment kind of guy. So he is like, maybe it crosses his mind for a second, but he just continues looking at the list because he knows that he needs to get this information down, because he knows that he will be most useful if he is most informed.
It's a blip. Anything that you remember is a blip across your mind, like you just said. You focus in, and yeah, it seems some of the swords, there are drawings of them. Some of them are literally just how many gems can you put on a single sword, which makes it quite impractical for battle. A couple of them are made of gold, which again, quite impractical for battle. But he definitely is into the lore of it. So
Does it seem like he's more interested in the lore or the aesthetics?
A mix of both. If it has a good story, a lot of them are like, this is the sword that was wielded by Raska, the god of the sky, when he conquered over the great monsters. Very much there's the story, but of course there's a little bit, it's like a story with a sheen. An idealized version. You've seen battle. You know that all those swords would never be covered in blood like yours are.
No, my sword gets to be covered in blood frequently.
But that's the information that you get from that page. Persephone, you look over your pages and you see not only does he have a menagerie, he has a huge garden. And there's a list of rare herbs, things that you could actually probably use to make some pretty hefty potions. You see a lot of the animals he keeps are Feywild creatures. Displacer beasts. You see a picture of a displacer beast. You see a picture of fairy dragons. A lot of Feywild creatures as opposed to anything else. With a couple of exceptions, you see that he has a hellhound or two, but he also has a very small coatl, which is absurd because it's Rapturalian. Like he plucked that out of the heavenly plane. But as you look at the picture of the displacer beast, you remember Hecate's message to you, if you would be so kind. Is there anything that goes through Persephone's head while she is looking at this book?
She looks over the beasts, and the displacer beast just seems really out of place, besides the Rapturalia thing that should not exist down here, but who knows how he got that. But the displacer beast is rather dangerous. She wants to look over the herbs again to see if any of them are from her woods before it was burned.
Roll me a history check.
That's going to be a 10.
And you don't recognize anything that would be from your forest.
Okay. I point out the displacer beast to men, and then I tell them that I need to go, and I will be back.
Persephone walks out. Minerva, as you look over the list of books, this man is a collector of obscure shit. The more obscure, the better. In languages he probably does not speak. we're looking at old Romithrin from like 10,000 years ago. Probably has quite a bit of arcane stuff, spell scrolls, runes, things that basically this man likes, the rarer the better. He is definitely a connoisseur of, is it hard to find? Then it's in my house.
Mm-hmm.
You get this.
Listen, you.
What?
Bring me in the stacks of books.
What?
Listen, you.
What? What?
Listen, you.
Can I help you?
Listen here.
I'm listening.
Listen. But yeah, I would like to kind of just like to review the list. And I don't know, like as she traces over it, she can remember like growing up with her mom prior to the Earl Queen calling her mother away, and you know, her mother did not did she collected books, but they were not like of the obscure and rare. But just kind of looking at it, she's almost filled with like a sense of happiness, which is a very foreign feeling right now. But I would like to, I don't know. There's really nothing that I want to glean. Well, I mean, does it seem like he, especially given like the types of books, is it, as I'm reviewing the list, does it feel like he's looking, or he collects in one direction?
What do you mean by one direction? Like genre?
Genre, topic,
The old gods. It's very clear he's an old gods fanboy.
Fair enough.
And he is a Kusiyu worshipper. Kusiyu
Okay.
being the god of the earth.
Right.
And Kusiyu is actually on, is a neutral party. Kusiyu did not pick a side in the war. Because he likes to fuck more shit up that way.
Would it be fair to say that in my extensive studies of being raised to be what I am, that we could make some form of connection based on that information? Like, I don't want to call it like if there's a way that I could put my hooks in this man before we even get to his house.
Make me an insight check.
23.
We'll remind you all these characters are level 15 and like to F my shit up. With the 23, 100% if you bring up your favorite old god and talk about like how cool you think the old gods are, though for you, the best things to say would be either Karawa or who is the god of fire and dragons, who is on your side, or Raska, who is the condor and the god of the sky. Those would be your two. So if you come in and you're like, oh, I'm also a big fan of this god, like he will nerd out with you.
It's got Karawa.
Mm-hmm.
Karawa, fire, something.
Fire and
Raska.
Dragons.
Fire, dragons.
Raska is the sky.
Okay. I know I butchered these spellings, but that's okay.
No, you don't, as long as you remember. And I think at that moment, when you bring up Juno, you actually, the three of you who are still in the room, you hear a, and you see that a familiar figure stands in the doorway. They have a shaved head, very pale white skin, and these stick out black horns. They wear black and gray studious robes over a like vest and slacks, and this is Toonrida. And you see Toonrida goes, Min, hi.
Hi.
Was hoping I'd be able to catch you. Your mother wants to talk to you. I know it's earlier. She usually isn't able to, do a lot of visits, but with everything going on, Earl Queen let her come up to talk to you.
Nothing short of pole vaulting the table.
over it. Like,
Deuces.
off of
Jason
Jason's
falls
lap.
Jason falls backwards in the chair from the force.
Yeah, Achilles, you watch your
Jesus.
friend topple over. And yeah, we are going to. Well, we got the two boys. We got Persephone talking to Hecate, and we've got Minerva. So let's actually go ahead and go back to the same initiative that we were in before, which was Achilles, Minerva, Persephone, and Jason. But Achilles and Jason will share an initiative. And the two of you find yourself as Jason, you're on your back on the ground in this strategy room for a moment, as your two other squad members have gone off to talk to other people.
First and foremost, Jason gets up.
Now he just stays there on his back.
He stands up, kind of dusts himself off, and then literally just goes back to like looking at other documents as well to see if he can figure out any like big important things about this guy's personality. What is his temperament? What is his disposition? Is he quick to anger? Things like more personality traits are kind of want to see if I can glean from the notes.
Navi, roll me an insight check with disadvantage if you would be so kind. Because you're sort of looking for.
It's already gonna be a bad roll.
I know, but it's like you're looking for context clues. You know what I mean?
Well, so the reason that I would argue that they would have this information specifically written down is because if you're doing like a mission like this where you're trying to convince somebody, you would want to know all of that information. That is all very
flat.
information.
Roll it flat.
Can I hinder them and make them have disadvantage?
Achilles
Try
starts
the stone die one more.
licking him in the ear. Come on, stone die.
Hey, Jason. Hey, Jason. Hey, Jason. Hey, Jason.
You're not here.
You're not here. Shut
If
up.
I was here, you would be.
That is 100% true.
That's a 10.
Not gonna do it, I'm afraid. I mean, you can extrapolate. You're a decently smart guy. You can extrapolate the guy probably is a bit hedonistic based on, you know, what he enjoys. The fact that he's open to negotiation might also say stuff about him. Like the fact that he's open to negotiation from either army.
That indicates to me that he is so in Jason's mind, being open to both sides is being wishy-washy and is immediately a big red flag. And he's probably a little bit frustrated because this is a charisma character. He is very charismatic, but he also likes to know just as much as he possibly can because he is also a bit conniving and a little bit very calculated. He may not be the smartest guy, but he knows how to work people to his advantage. So I think that he's not finding as much as he would like is probably a bit frustrating. His eyebrows are kind of knit together as he's just staring at these papers.
Don't worry, Jason. We're figuring out some stuff. From what I can tell, we could probably present anything, liquor or wine wise, and just tell him a fancy name, and he might go for it.
I have plenty of stories from the Argo that seen a lot of weapons in my day.
Oh yeah, definitely. DM question. We established in lore that I'm essentially like anytime we raid any celestial tent, would I have found anything in my travels that's on this list?
Roll me a straight luck check.
Oh.
I know, rolling anything straight is very hard for this table, but please try.
11.
Yeah, unfortunately, no. You didn't really find anything. It was a temple. There wasn't a lot of alcohol in it. So
You've been going to the wrong temples.
well, clearly Ascilla's temple was boring.
So I guess we can check the officer's tent or maybe supply, see if they have anything on this list. Try and bribe them. If worse comes to worse, I can just mix stuff together and say it's from somewhere far off.
Oh, I know plenty of far off places. I can give you some names. We could always say it's from the Cyclops. I encountered some
Oh.
good wine there. I'll tell you what.
Cyclops brewed wine, though we'd have to make it a harsh flavor. You can't really calculate everything. Depth perception and whatnot.
If we get a really dry cab sauv, we could probably get away with it. Oh, and we could even we can also say it's something that it's not. Pretty I was gonna say I'm decent at lying, but Jason actually doesn't have proficiency in deception.
Oh no!
Luckily, I do.
I think you would know that Achilles is a pretty good liar.
Yeah, you're a good liar. And if worst comes to worst, we can always intimidate him.
I'm even better at that.
As am I, my friend. And we do the predator handshake.
I think we're gonna fade out on that. And you guys are gonna aim to go to like an officer's tent or a supply tent, see what you can find. Great, we'll do that on our next turn. Minerva, you know exactly where your mother would be. In the back of the barracks towards the woods behind it, which is Cliffshire Woods, the smoking wreckage that used to be a forest. You head to the back and you see there is a teleportation circle. And there is a woman standing in it. And I would like you to describe what she looks like, because I do not think you gave me a description of her. So go ahead and describe what your mother looks like.
Oh, hang on. I have a thing. Which first time I can get it to open.
I checked your backstory and I was like, oh no!
I totally meant to drop it. So if she ever comes up again, don't let me forget.
I wish we could get your mom for this, but
Yeah. Folders, stuff, things and stuff. Mithra has its own folder because it's special. My mother, Juno, is so compared to Min, I would not call her average. She is still an exceptionally beautiful woman. She has shoulder-length brown hair, strikingly green eyes. Despite working for the Infernalia army, she still wears white and black robes. So she wears a very basic black cotton dress with a white robe over it. Her spell book, so she is a warlock. Her book is like a steel blue leather-bound leather-bound journal that's got just a gold diamond in the middle of it. Her magic in particular manifests as purple. And then she wears just like very straight combat boots. For anybody watching at home who knows, yes, this is built off of my own mom. So yes, ma'am, you are being called out. But Juno's eyes are just like they're it looks like if you watched kind of how the leaves roll in the summer when a breeze comes through the treetops, those are the shades of green that are in her eyes. It's just the same liveliness that is in Juno's eyes is what's reflected in Minerva's eyes. So where there are pools of lava in this red-skinned tiefling, Juno's very fair skin reflects back that very earth connection and attachment.
Are you touchy-feely with your mother when you see her, or is it very formal?
This is not a self-insert. Immediately I was like, yes? No. Min is not very touchy-feely. Min is very, I wouldn't say formal, but rigid. Like, having spent the last 15-ish years with the Infernalia army has relatively adjusted. Like, so where as a child she was very kind of happy-go-lucky and enjoyed her life, as Tunrida raised her, she became a little bit more rigid and straight. Like, I have a directive, this is what I need to do.
You see Juno steps forward to you and seeing your posture, does the thing where she kind of outstretches a hand and then does this. Min, I'm sorry to surprise you. It's all hands on deck down there. I don't know when I'm next going to be able to come up. I'm honestly glad that my colleague allowed me to get a little time. I'll have to send her tell her thank you later. How are you?
Busy. I have to look at my own watch. Like I got a sundial on my wrist. I just went.
It's canon.
It's canon. Min wears a sundial.
It's beautiful.
I can't. I don't wear watches. But she, Min kind of like looks down and she shuffles awkwardly for a minute. Kind of like, it's my mom, but I have work to do and I can't visit because I've got more things I need to get done, and I left Jason behind, and that's fucking shitty. And and in a split second of like as Jason crosses her mind, it's kind of like this would have been a good opportunity. And then you that intrusive thoughts are just kind of invading her brain. And it kind of comes out as I'm fine. I'm busy, work, you know.
Yeah. I mostly wanted to come see you because I didn't know if I was going to be able to see you again after this.
And the jarring reaction. Why?
Because they're putting us on the front lines, men.
But you guys are supposed to be like, you're like the private. No,
Men. Tide hasn't turned. We're still technically losing. The boss queen is getting pissed. It is both literal and figurative hell down there. I don't know what's gonna happen. So I just wanted to see you again in case things went really bad.
Min's gonna run and hug her mom.
Juno kind of does the thing of like, huh! With like hands up for a little bit and just wraps you up in the biggest mama bear hug. You haven't hugged her in how long?
15 years.
You have not hugged your mother in 15 years. It is like the smell of your favorite baked good. It is the smell of her hair immediately brings back childhood memories. It is, you know, and she holds you for a very, very long time, as long as you will let her until you pull away.
I'm not, Min's not crying, but Min's like internally like wrecked. That's not okay. We're gonna have words later. We're gonna have words later. Not okay.
Yeah.
And I would say after at least a solid 5 minutes, she'll kind of, what am I doing? And we'll kind of like awkwardly pull back. And just kind of, I don't know, like stand right in front of her. So when do you leave?
Next couple days, depending on if you guys successfully get that trade route.
Okay.
I talked to Burvu. I ply Burvu. You know. Thanks for telling me what her favorite kind of wine was. It's super useful.
Okay.
So, proceed with the same caution I always taught you.
Okay.
Don't let anyone underestimate you. Not even that pretty boy you've been spending time with. Yeah, you think I didn't notice? I didn't know you liked him married. And she doesn't say this in a mean way. It is very much like, I have to talk to my daughter about the fact that she's sleeping with a married man. Like,
In my defense, he started it.
In
Is
my
that how that
defense-
works?
sex takes, I don't know if you've noticed, but sex takes a mutual action. I taught you the birds and the bees. Or did Tunrina teach you the bird? I don't even remember. Did I give you the fact that I can't remember if I gave my daughter the sex talk or their mentor is very disconcerting to me.
Listen, I have a good time. We go back home. Everybody knows. Nobody talks about it. Nobody takes me for granted. I promise you that.
That's honestly what I'm worried about. You can sleep with whoever you want as long as they know what a fucking treasure they have.
Don't
She kind
worry. I am steak, not mac and cheese.
You are steak, not mac and cheese. Though mac and cheese is really good, but you are steak, baby. And she gives you. She
That's a
can't.
line my mom gave me when I was 14.
Ah! You see, she pulls you in for another hug, and you get that same scent of what it was like reading books with your mother. The memories of her making like cinnamon rolls, and you sitting there getting the sugary glaze over the pages of the book, and your mother not even caring.
Yes.
And on that note, we're gonna go to Persephone. Persephone, darling, you walk out and you see Hecate is leaning against the wall, and she always looks like she's posing. She always just looks like she is perpetually like just sexy cat. I don't know how to say it any better than sexy cat. Hecate's a sexy cat. I don't know. I don't make the rules. Okay. Hecate's a sexy cat. I'm gonna get so many clips of that.
Yeah.
Please describe for us this sexy cat.
Yeah.
She is a sleek Black Panther-like cat. She is wearing kind of like an evening gown. I have a description of it, and I keep forgetting to pull it up. She is a fiend warlock to Earl Queen as well, just like Juno. So she's got, her book, she has a talisman. So she wears like this chain around her neck with that jagged crown that you see on the banners. And as you walk out, she kind of reaches her paw out to you in a way that you're not familiar with, catches her arm and goes, "Come on.
Where are we going?
Come on." Not
Fine.
far, just away from ears, okay?
This whole place is ears.
Okay, no, I get it, but like,
Fine, fine,
just
go.
trust me.
Fine.
And you're gonna hate me a little bit.
What did you do?
We need to go a little bit into Cliffshire.
You know I hate going into Cliffshire.
I know you hate going into Cliffshire, but I need to tell you shit. It's about your ex.
You know I hate even more talking about him.
I know, I'm officially your least favorite person tonight, but I promise you I'll make it up to you, okay?
Let's make it quick.
All right. She kind of leads you. You wind through the various tents until you go around the barracks. And in the back, you get the scent of just ashes and regret. It is a smell that you hate, I would assume.
Yeah, I absolutely despise it.
And as you walk in, you see the little bits of animal bone that are starting to decompose into the earth. You see what once were shrubs are dead roots. And you see once you are far enough away, Hecate practically poses against a tree. And
Well,
first of all, I just want to check. Whatever mission they're sending you on, do they know that you're former Celestial?
yes, except for no.
Okay.
The minute they talk about it, we're supposed to change the topic.
Okay, good. Well, Burvery's not a fucking idiot, at least.
I mean, she's kept me alive this long back here, so
It's because you're good at what you do.
Tell it to the rest of the Infernals who hate me.
Okay, if they really hated you, you'd be dead. But admittedly, they know the cat's got claws, so.
Fair point.
So.
What do you want to tell me? I really hate being here.
I know you hate being here. It's just no one's around. Apu is... God, I'm so sorry. Apu's probably also making a move on whatever targets you're going for with, like, if you're trying to, I don't know what your mission is. I don't know what the deal is, but like Apu is like on the fucking ground.
It's not good when they sent him.
No, they've sent him in directly.
Can
And-
I
Yeah.
make I want to make a history check to see if that displacer beast might have been gifted by Apu.
Oh my God, absolutely. Actually, which is better, nature or history?
That's a good question.
That sounds like it would
My
probably
nature.
be-
I am allowing nature because I have like the image of, let me explain why. I have the image of like the nature of a beast that Apu would give, having a very specific, God damn it. I have to address this. So basically, you know that he would get things from places that weren't totally together. So they weren't totally where they were. They're not completely native. So you think back on the illustration, and if you do a nature check, maybe you can remember like what didn't seem entirely Feywild about it.
That's going to be a 24.
With a 24, 100% he gave it. That your ex gave him that.
I figured. Okay.
What's
Still
going on?
doesn't-
Percy,
He's
what's going
already
on?
in. He's already in.
Oh,
We have to
God.
figure something out.
Okay. Well,
The
like,
guy's got a fucking quaddle and a displacer beast.
wait, he has a quaddle? How the fuck did he get a quaddle?
Fuck if I know.
Next thing you'll know that he has like an army of fucking Leonin. Like, what? Who is this guy that you're seeing? Don't tell me I shouldn't know.
I can't tell you. River would
Mm,
have my head.
oh God, the fact that she hasn't already is a godsend.
Okay,
You know
what
that-
else can you tell me? When was the last
Minus-
time you saw him? He's been seen.
I haven't seen him personally. I've only keep my ears on the ground. Like, it's why I was able to find you when I did, Perse. It's why I was able to find you on the ground looking like you ate shit.
I'm surprised they didn't kill me the minute I fainted, but hey, whatever.
Kitty's got claws.
Kitty's best friend. Also, why are you wearing an evening gown?
I don't know, because we're probably gonna go to war and die, like we always
So you're
do.
gonna die in an evening gown?
Might as well go out in style, right?
I'll give you that.
Look,
At least it's red. It'll hide the color of blood.
that's what I'm saying. Perse, don't let them get to you, okay? You're more capable than half of these assholes.
I make no guarantees, but if I go out, I'll go out with a bang.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And she kind of gives you like a little bit of a squeeze on your shoulder. Do you need a dress? Do you want this one?
No, I do not need your dress. And where I'm actually, yes, I do need. But not
Yeah.
that one. Not that one. Red does not match with the hair vibes.
I don't know. Pink and red's not a bad vibe.
Let's go with black. Black is better.
I'm sorry I took you here.
I mean, you're right. There's nobody here to listen.
I know how much you hate it, though. I know how many shitty memories it brings you. I get it. I just didn't want anyone to hear that we were talking about you-know-who.
Yeah, some more of them can hate me. It's fine.
Well, look, you're already known around here about as Shithead's ex, so you know.
True. Okay.
All right.
Well, I should tell Minerva where
Yeah.
that displaced beast came from. This will be
Fun.
fun.
Have fun. As she kind of gives you another squeeze and lets you go. Technically, we're now with Jason in the initiative, so we're going to jump back to our boys. And then we'll have y'all meet and let me know what you guys are wearing. Because, you know, we love a good outfit moment. But before that, Jason and Achilles, what you doing?
you're muted.
Don't mind me being a himbo in real life and in game. So I feel like, Jason, do you think we are actually going to request liquor from the officer's tent, or are we going to break into the officer's tent?
I think we're breaking in. I think that's exactly our type of shenanigans.
God damn it!
Breaking in
Whose
will be a
tent
lot
are
more
you?
fun.
Which tent are you breaking into?
Which general would, or not necessarily general, like which officer? Because even robbing from a general is a bit much for Jason.
Yeah.
But which like officer might have something? Because what we really need is a fancy bottle. Doesn't matter what we put in it. He's never gonna drink it. We just need a fancy ass bottle. Who do we think would have a fancy ass bottle?
Lilith. You know that Lilith is the captain of the Air Forces, and thus she is like perpetually moving and searching the skies, so she's not in her tent very much. Lilith is a fire genasi, who clearly has like managed to magic some like Aarakocra shit. So you would have to be more worried about her spotting you from above than below. But you know she collects a lot of shinies.
All right. Here's the plan.
Okay.
You are going to be the one to actually go in. You're going to get in there. You're going to find the nicest, fanciest, most jewel-encrusted nonsense bottle you can find. I am going to stand outside to keep an eye on above. If she sees me standing outside her tent, and she tries to, and she is like, "Hey, what are you doing outside my tent?" I can probably charm my way out of it.
Unfortunately, I know how well you are with charming people, so yeah. I see nothing problematic about this plan, and I think everything is going to work out perfectly.
You sound so convinced. Let's go.
Achilles, I'm gonna need you to make a stealth check, and Jason, I need you to make a perception check.
I know, something
I need to send this picture to you, just so, like...
Are you fucking kidding me right now? Did you get another nat 20?
Nat 20.
Ah! And what did you get, Jason?
I got a 12.
I got a rock. You do not see, as you look up, Jason, you do not see the familiar figure of Lilith anywhere. You do see, as you look around, that Orpheus struts by, and he's just singing some kind of emo song and doesn't even pay attention to you. This like puffy sleeved, very much brown hair in the eye, just like, "I sing you a tale of the devilish days," and it just keeps walking past, like just not even paying attention to you.
I watch him walk past, and I'm like, a sad, strange little man.
With that nat 20 stealth check, Achilles, I'm going to give you advantage on your investigation. You slip into the tent. It is practically like a miniature dragon's hoard. There are, like, not in the way that it's all shinies, but it's a lot of useful stuff. There's, like, maps and stuff piled in a corner. There's a lot of stuff that is, like, obviously things that you would use in air battle, you know, bows and arrows and things like that. Go ahead and make me an investigation check, and I will let you roll that with advantage because you got a fucking nat 20 stealth check.
Well, that's really going to have advantage because I have a whole -2 to investigation. All
Oh,
right. No! Amazing. Nothing can go wrong.
Nothing can roll well.
All right. 11.
It was not a particularly high DC, if it makes you feel any better.
Great, guys.
You don't find a jewel-encrusted bottle. You do find one with a little bit of gold leaf, and it's a little dusty, but maybe, like, Jason's really good at polishing stuff. Maybe he can do something with it.
I'm just kind of digging through and I find this. I'm like, I think that this will work. Put it into, well, I was going to say my satchel, but I'll let the audience decide where Achilles hides all the wine bottles.
Jesus
And
Christ. Jason, my poor sweet boy. You hear the flapping of large red feathered wings, and you hear a, "What in the fuck are you doing waiting outside my tent?" And you turn and you see Lilith, who is, again, the Spire Genasi, this kind of red, very like Satine and Moulin Rouge kind of hair, like beautifully coiffed. Like, should not be that perfectly coiffed. She was literally just flying, but somehow still perfectly coiffed. Like, not as hot as Minerva. No one's as hot as Minerva, but like pretty hot. She's wearing like this very tight-fitting leather tunic, and like she folds her wings back and she just goes, "Can I help you?"
Ah, Lilith! Wonderful. I was hoping I could speak with you for just a moment. And I say that loud enough to make sure that Achilles can hear it.
100%. Not gonna make you roll for that. Achilles hears you.
Excellent. Lilith, I was hoping to speak with you for just a quick moment.
What does the big boy of the elite Burvu squad want with a little lowly Air Force captain like me?
Oh, Lilith, there's nothing lowly about you. I mean, you spend all your time in the sky.
Did you just make a fucking pun at me?
Depends. Did you like it?
Make a persuasion check.
All right. I gotta pick a good die because.
Did she like his pun? My God, if I cut away for a break right now.
Go for the pink one. That one does me good sometimes.
What did
14.
you get?
I got a 5 on the die, so it's a 14.
Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna check something. She liked it. I rolled a wisdom check for her, and she goes. And she kind of reaches out and runs a finger down your cheek and goes, "Cute. Did you come here just to show off your sparkling humor?"
I was actually wondering what you knew about some old collectible weaponry.
I mean,
Because you collect shiny things.
Yeah, everyone makes fun of me for it because you like to fly, so you're like a bird and you have a nest.
Oh, there's nothing to laugh at about having interests and a collection. I think it's rather admirable. We could all use hobbies outside the war.
And what's your hobby outside the war?
Well, I can't reveal all my secrets now, can I? What do you know about, I'm trying to think of one of the I didn't write down all the weapons you
That's okay. I'm gonna say that you could maybe one of the weapons you could say is like, what do you know about like Roska's bow or something like that?
What would you know about Roska's bow?
Oh, like the original?
The original.
Holy shit.
I'm potentially going to be speaking with a collector, and I'd like to know what I'm getting into.
Well, Roska, you know, being one of the guys who's actually on our side, all of our bows are actually styled as replicas of his. And she actually pulls out her bow, which is this beautiful, like, wooden carved curve. And with like a little bit of like gold shimmer, but not to the point where it's distracting. The Infernals have a little bit of show with everything that they do.
So basically what I want to do here is I want to just talk to her about this to give Achilles a chance to sneak out the back.
You
so
100% read my mind.
If I can just continue asking her questions about this and being a little bit flirty and like he's just gonna like not really he's not aiming for the conversation to actually go anywhere. He's not actually looking for information. So he's just kind of going to like talk in circles a little bit. Not to the point
Wonderful.
that it becomes obvious and annoying, but to the enough that like he just so to make sure like Achilles can get out.
Achilles, roll me that stealth check with advantage if you would be so kind.
So I feel like Achilles was listening for a bit. It's like, yeah, that's actually pretty. Oh crap! I'm supposed to leave.
Yeah, and that's why Jason like is going to do this for a little bit because he figures probably gonna get distracted.
So it's a good thing I had advantage. So that's 28.
Yeah, absolutely. With the 20s, Achilles, how do you sneak out of here unnoticed?
So like just imagine Achilles is like listening to the conversation. It's like, yeah, you go, Jason. That's what I'm talking about. Crap. Making sure he has this bottle, and then kind of like dives underneath one of the flaps out of the opposite side of where they're talking, jumps up and just kind of hey.
I rolled a luck check, and you see that Orpheus finds you and just goes, and then the days were that.
I look directly at Orpheus and give the most serious looks, like, you don't say a fucking word.
Can I sing it?
I put my hand on my sword. Do you want to?
He just goes, just beelines, and in the meantime, you see, Lilith is just like, and that's why we think that maybe we should go to crossbows now.
You know what, Lilith? Thank you so much for answering my questions. This has been an absolute delight. Oh God, what time is it? Oh, I think I'm late for something.
You
But,
look at your sundial.
Yeah.
This is gonna be the running joke. Is I look at my sundial. Oh, look at the time.
Or like he looks around for like a sundial somewhere or something.
You see Odysseus, who has a black eye, is leaning against the sundial and has like a cracked lip.
Excellent. And Jason is just going to politely extricate himself from the conversation.
I think Lilith definitely, without an insight check, you can tell she's like, well, all right, I guess I'll see Mr. Big Boy later.
Yeah, we'll talk later.
And in the meantime, I'm going to say during this Persephone, I think you would have caught up with Minerva. Minerva, you said goodbye to your mother. You go back to the main hall of the barracks. You know that you have to get ready for this party. And Persephone, that is about the time where Hecate parts with you. So I want to give you two a moment before we move on to basically, and now we get changed into fancy things and go to the manor.
Well, I think this would be a perfect time, actually. I mean, this is very girl talk. I would say, Persephone, I would leave my door open for you. I think that we have probably become friends enough that you know that if we have to get ready for something in this fashion, that you just we come over. So I would leave my door open because I'm gonna assume that I was back first. I'm gonna make that assumption. My conversation was a lot shorter. So I'm just gonna leave my door open, and I've got, when you come in, Min's bedroom is a mess. So the only thing that is still immaculate is her desk, where all of her papers and books are. But let's talk about why we don't travel in fancy gear. And she's like, she's standing there and she's looking, and she's got a variety of long black dresses. And while I do that, can I have my illustrious GM? Could I have you roll me a D4, or can I have you roll me a D4? If it's a 4, roll again.
Okay. I've
never
had a player ask me to make a roll before. It
determines what I wear. I've got 3
This is so exciting. I'm rolling to see what Min wears. That's a 4. I roll again. That's a 2.
Beautiful. This is a dress you guys haven't seen. All right. So on her bed are 3 very long black dresses. Oh, this scared the heck out of me.
Live, everybody.
And we're live. I'm okay, Pip. I'm sorry. So On her bed is the long black dress that everybody knows and loves. It's got the long sleeves with the very low cut collar and the very high cut leg slits. And she kind of looks at it. Persephone, she come in. She's like, "We need to we need to talk, but first." And she's gonna kind of go to the third dress. And it's almost it's very classy. It kind of has like a big wrap around the front. And again with the leg slits because I have a type.
Always the leg slits, yeah.
And she's gonna like, she's just, no, these aren't right. And the dress she settles on, as she's holding these very strappy gold heels that match her eyes, and she's like, that's the one. And this dress, guys, it's a high cut collar. It's kind of almost like my tank top that I'm wearing, so it's very high cut, thick straps. But up the sides to about the middle of her rib cage is very strappy, like corset straps. So it's very open, almost like more like a bodice that just happens to have a tail.
You're welcome, chat.
And she's like, this is the one. So we have a problem. This guy collects things. I don't necessarily know if he's smart, but he likes things that he can't have or things that people are fascinated by. Oh, and my mom's going to the front lines.
The last thing, just like the first part did not face me. The last thing is like, oh shit, and she just like fucking freezes for a second because she knows that you don't see your mom often, and this is even worse now.
Yeah. But so she's gonna kind of like, she's throw the other two onto the floor, foot of the bed, and sit down and cross her legs. So
We have
Where
something to talk about.
do you
And
want
I
to
closed the door this time.
Okay.
The Celestials already have an inn.
Super. I love that for us.
I don't, because I know who it is, and none of us are going to be happy about this. It's a poo. He's gifted to Displacer Beast. Yeah. This is fine. We're fine.
Well, this is good. Tipsy, can I ask a question real fast?
Sure.
So, in this conversation that I picked up on it, and I don't know if this is too meta, well, I guess this is for you and for Jason. Did you say anything out loud about things like Rosca's bow?
That's
Would you have
Jason, yeah.
I think Jason might have pointed to a few things on the list, and probably like in like a these are like the sort of things he collects as far as weapons. I'm familiar like with a couple of them just because Jason also has a thing for weapons, so I imagine he would have at least recognized the names of a couple. So he probably would have like pointed out the ones he recognized and been like and made note of the ones he was less familiar with, and just
Okay.
like as we were conferring very casually, like, here's the stuff.
Okay. Okay. All right. Noted. So yeah, so Min's gonna kind of like sit down. Well, we may not have the means to gift him. I think that we can probably outshine your lesser half. With the things that we know, we do know that he's fascinated by the old gods, and I think that we sort of have an in on both sides. So I did notice that there was some old gods lore and literature that was on his list. Jason pointed out that he has collected Rosca's bow. I think that we can go there and we can probably kind of just work our way in, just doing what we do best. We don't have to spend money. We don't have to go all extra. It's nice, and he's going to get a collectible out of it. But he'll still come home with us.
I have faith in you. I've always had faith in you, and we haven't had a bad time yet.
Alrighty. Yeah, so I think we really need to play smart about this. And I love the boys, but they need to be pretty.
Where are the boys?
And I think at this moment, you hear.
All right, Achilles. We've got the bottle polished. I think if we just add a couple of things to it, and we just throw something dark red in there, I think that'll do the job. Oh, we've got to make sure we seal it with the right wax. He's a
So I feel like we need to have a
Unsupervised.
strong kind of earthy flavor, but it also needs a kick. So I feel like
I don't think he's gonna taste it. I think if we look at the bottle and we say like, ah, yes, this is from my adventures and when I slayed the dreaded Cyclops with the crew of the Argo, and you know,
Man,
I
we
like
left
that.
him unsupervised.
Oh my god. And oh my god, I'm so sorry for this. Min's gonna like lean out the door frame in her pants and her bra and nothing else. Just like I don't want to say anything other than just about full display, and her hair like kind of falls. Can you guys go get dressed? We have to leave soon.
We're working on it. We have a plan.
He looks like he's working.
I'm absolutely working.
I would love it if you would work on changing your clothes. Please?
Yes. Come on, let's go. We gotta get dressed. And I start dragging Achilles.
We have a montage of putting on clothes. Orpheus plays a hype song in the background.
Orpheus, how did you get in here?
This is the dark and gritty campaign you signed up for, right? This is the dark and gritty campaign that we promised you. And you
Do
all
we have a window?
do you have a window like out of the
Yeah.
barracks?
Yes.
Yeah, you can. I would say Min probably scored a place with a window. What do you think, Lore?
Is Orpheus is going by the window, I assume, right?
Yeah, Orpheus is just walking by the
Oh.
window, just playing his lute.
Orpheus is getting a full fucking show then.
I'm so sorry.
I'm
Oh.
going to like peek my head out the window and use my cantrip of mold earth and trip him.
And
I was
then the devilish. Ah!
I was gonna say Orpheus is getting a full fucking show at some point. Min is not a shy person. Clearly.
You just see, he trips over, he gets up, and he goes, and then the blah. And I just, because he knows Jason's gonna kick his ass, he keeps running. And you all meet, and we're gonna do a reverse of the initiative to find out what y'all are wearing. So, Jason, my dear sweet boy, what are you wearing tonight?
Jason is decked out. He is wearing a black chiton that is pinned at one shoulder. For anyone who may not know, a chiton is that traditional Greek piece of fabric that's folded and pinned at the shoulders. Jason has it pinned at one shoulder, so you can see a little bit of one pec, because I think that's fun. The edge of the fabric is intricately embroidered with bright red and gold thread. Golden olive branches kind of make a little circlet on his head, contrasting against his red skin and black hair. The rope at his waist tying it is also gold and wrapped in a red ribbon. He still has the golden fleece on the one shoulder, probably the shoulder that's pinned. Probably the golden fleece has a little thing on underneath that pins it. Thinking about it from a costuming perspective. And he's got like gold, those classic Greek sandals that probably wrap around his leg to about knee height. He looks good.
Looks good. Persephone.
So Persephone comes out in a dress that's all black but has like this lace floral over it. And then she for combat reasons, also has slits up the sides of her dress, usually. Because that way she can easily grab whatever happens to be holstered onto her thigh if she needs it. It is very low cut. It does not leave much to the imagination. And it's a full sleeve.
This party is
It'll
just
rip very easily if she needs to turn into an animal.
We are going to be taking a break as soon as we finish the outfits. So we're going to go ahead and go to Minerva and then Achilles. Yeah. Persephone's hot.
Well, you can't rip off her easily. Remind me to try that. Never mind. Remind me
Rookie, I'm
later.
sorry.
Anyway,
I feel like there's a role involved for that.
guys, I'm so sorry. I sent party.
Amazing.
I love you all. Anyway, Min kind of like struts out, and it's at this point that if anybody had any sort of questions about Min and Jason, they are completely flown out the window. We match. Our outfits match. Because so I've got the black dress it's got that lace corseted like bodice that holds together. Her heels have like gold straps that almost look like somebody is taking gold twine and wrapped it up her calves. And I mean these heels are gotta be 6 inches high. She's got beautiful gold bangles that are decorative. She does not wear a necklace. She just kind of lets that speak for itself. Her hair is fallen back into just her very natural white-haired waves. But where she typically would just tuck it behind her ears, she has like a braided crown that kind of comes to the back and then knots. With a few pieces of her own gold leaf in it. Her ears, she's got relatively like long pointed ears, have those the tip caps on them that are gold, that kind of scroll into a leaf, and chains hang down. And then Minerva does have facial piercings, so she has a very standard small septum ring that's gold, and then she does have both of her nostrils are pierced, so she just has a very delicate gold chain that goes across her nose as well. And she has wings that could lift a truck for makeup.
Wings that could lift a truck.
Wings that could lift just about anything.
Promises. Achilles.
So Achilles is normally not one for fancy dress, but you see Achilles step out with once again, not leaving much for the imagination, a two-piece tunic, kind of a ocean blue, cut down, showing the pecs up to about right here, or down to about right here, and short sleeves coming up with a seashell necklace, full midriff showing off, and what I can only call a long skirt for the bottom of this tunic. You see in the middle of this, you see his sword stuck there, no shield, one of the few times he won't have it. Hair is actually let down, not in the braid for once, and hair's coming down all the way to his waist, but behind his shoulders.
The four of you gather at the front, and you see that a rather speedy looking carriage pulled by nightmares is awaiting you. You know, the flaming black horses. Yes, men.
Just because I don't know what's waiting for us, I would like it just to be known, because I am not a weapons carrier, that my treasis is still attached, so it's in a leg harness that's attached to my thigh, because I don't trust you. I don't trust you as a GM.
What?
Yeah, I do have my
Why?
sword.
Okay. Yeah,
Just
yeah, Persephone.
putting that out there.
Okay.
I have my staff of warning.
Okay, great. Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't trust me in this high stakes campaign where I told you I was going to try to
Lucas,
kill
I have
you.
my sword. Me, I should probably bring a weapon.
So as you guys get into the chariot and Burvu kind of watches you solemnly, the words that echo in your head, men, as you're pulled away is of your mother. Just remember to use the same caution I always taught you. And with that, we're going to take a 5-minute break. So let's go ahead. We will be back at 30, I guess more 6 minutes. We'll be back at 35 past the hour of whatever time zone you're in. Please go ahead and get a stretch, get a water, go to the bathroom, and we will see you in just a bit. welcome back, everyone. Hope you got a chance to get up and stretch and shake it out and get some water. We are back, our intrepid, devilish heroes. Villains? We are going to a party hosted by Crested. What is his last name again? I'm a good GM. Crested Neschool, who is hosting a dinner where they hopefully can wrangle in his support. Before I get to you, Doofus, I do have to do a couple of housekeeping things. First of all, I wanted to scroll up in the chat and say hello to Odin's Eye Tarot. So good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. And also thank you, Cena Talon, for the sub and for figuring out the technological stuffs. So yeah, we are gonna pick up right when you guys arrive. First, I did see a crossed fingers from Doofus. So what is going on, my friend Achilles?
So, in the rush to get ready, would Achilles have had time to actually throw a bunch of wines and liquors together into this decorated bottle?
Yes.
Cool. Do I need to make a roll for if it's how it turned out, I guess?
No.
So you are not proficient in brewer's tools, I would take it.
Let me see what I am proficient in. I think it's all stabs and not...
Would brewer's tools even apply to wine? Would it not be more of a vintner thing?
You're
Because you don't
right.
brew wine.
Sure,
And also, this is just mixing together some rando shit.
Well,
yeah. This I don't have brewer's tools, and I feel like this would be Achilles. Like, okay, I gotta find the outfit.
I'm gonna tell you what.
Toss out
Can I
armor,
also
toss out
can
armor.
I also give the help action because I polished the bottle and made it all pretty?
It might be less about what you made and more about how Crested reacts to it. But I will go ahead and have you with advantage. Go ahead and roll me. I don't know. I never asked someone to make me a roll for making shitty wine before.
Can we roll for Hunch Punch?
What do you guys think? What do you guys think would be a stat for rolling this?
I would
Medicine.
I would think probably medicine would be the closest thing.
Let's do a medicine check with advantage if you'd be so kind. I appreciate
Well-
my players helping me where I'm like, I don't know, man, roll a thing.
All right. First one's a 12
That's gonna be a no from me.
and a 14. So 14.
With a 14, it looks like wine and it smells like wine.
That is Achilles' favorite type of wine.
Romithra equivalent of Tupac Chuck. As the carriage pulls up to the manor, you guys see the gaudiest manor you have ever seen in your entire lives. It is mostly made of obsidian with shiny, prismatic swirls of color. And there is a flag with the symbol of Kusiu, which is this mask, like a trickster's mask, fluttering in orange from one of the towers. It is so shiny, I almost want to make you give me Constitution saving throws for not being blinded, but I'm not going to do that because I'm not totally a jerk face. You guys see as you get out of the carriage, there is a set of the same obsidian steps leading up to a large iron archway with a huge set of chestnut wooden doors. And as you approach, you see that there are two door people. It looks like they're both humans. And they open the doors as you approach, just without a word. Don't even ask, open the doors. As you
So
walk...
door people, they look like doors and they're just standing there. Sorry, I'm just gonna go ahead and...
Bye!
Numbers of 3 doors down.
That's
Yeah,
how Achilles
Orpheus
dies.
comes flying 3 doors
door.
down.
The doors.
Orpheus
Better
comes...
reference there.
Orpheus comes playing the doors. How did he follow you? We don't know. You guys walk into the grand hall, and it is a stretch of beautiful purple plush carpet on the ground. But the same, like the walls are covered in what look like various gems, lots of pinks and purples and blues and reds, but it is like a kaleidoscope of color walking down this hallway. And at the end of the hallway, standing next to the spiral staircase, you see a rather short black dragonborn. He looks almost more kobold than dragon. He's got shiny black scales and he is wearing many pieces of jewelry, especially rings. He's got a chunky silver or gold jeweled ring on each of his clawed fingers. He is wearing a fine set of noble's clothes in purple and silver, almost looking a bit like he's wearing like a purple smoking jacket. And he's got a big diamond hoop piercing in one of his ears. And as he smiles and flashes his shiny teeth at you, you swear they must be not made out of actual teeth. Like you wonder if he got them replaced with like diamonds or something like that. And he greets you and goes, "My friends! Oh, it's so good to see you. It's so good to see you. Come here, come in, don't be shy."
Wonderful to meet you, and I hold out a hand. Jason, the pleasure is all mine.
Your reputation precedes you, my dear Jason,
I'm
and he
sure.
shakes your hand way too hard. Yes.
I hold my arm. I give him a very firm, strong handshake.
He kind of gives you like, and he's much shorter than you. Like he's like 5 foot barely. And he's just like, "Yes, and this must be the beautiful Minerva I've heard so much about."
I just like lost it with the okay, hang on. Dial it back in. And she's gonna offer him kind of like a half mercy. You can only do so much in this dress.
6-inch heels.
6-inch heels I'm less worried about. I'm masterful. 6-inch heels no matter what. But if I curtsy too far, we're gonna have a problem. And she's gonna give him kind of like a short one and kind of put her hand out. I don't know. Yeah, she's like offer her hand, I guess.
He kisses your hand, but it's a dragon snout, so it's just more like a bunk.
It's a boop. Boop.
He boops, his snoot boops your hand, and he goes, "Beautiful. It is." He booped his own snoot. It is so good to meet you. I've heard much about your you are an elite squad, as they say. And as he gestures, you see his claws themselves are painted gold.
Wow, so extra.
And now these two, and he gestures at Achilles and Persephone. Now this is a rarity indeed. If I could only make you into statues for my collection. I'm kidding, maybe. Oh,
Do
you
you know
are.
any Gorgons?
Oh, well, there might be a few, but not in my travels. I'm afraid I'm a little bit of a hermit these days, but the travels come to me. You must be the, career changers, as it were.
Achilles is going to step forward and essentially do similar to the handshake, like grabbing the forearm.
Oh my!
Jason. It's like, Achilles, nice to meet you.
The handshake of the predator. I quite like it. I don't get it enough. And you, my dear, of course.
Persephone, and I just give him my hand because I expect that he will boop his snoot again.
He boops his snoot again. The truly most evil thing I could do as a GM. And he goes, "Well, right this way," and he snaps his fingers, and you see immediately just a flurry of far too many servants. You see, if you have any coats, they would be taken. You are ushered into this beautiful, absolutely stunning, almost too garish dining room. It's about as large as a cottage that would house about 5 people. There are perpetually swinging chestnut doors with golden gilding as servants, you see a tiefling, you see a dwarf, you see an elf, like any kind of humanoid, it doesn't matter who it is. They are going in and out of the doors and preparing what looks like this extravagant place setting. There are 4 seats at the table that are these red plush seats with a purple seat at the head that is clearly reserved for Crested. Far too cushy. They look like lounge, like cushy seats for dinner. But they are all set as the servants wheel in and out like a whirlwind, getting food. And he goes, well, dinner will not be ready for a little bit, so I'm here to answer any questions you may have, or if you like, you may explore my manor. I do love my manor. You may explore it as much as you like. And he picks up a little glass, will be here. Yes, Min.
Whoa, this is okay. Okay. Battle mode engaged. My glasses are off. I would like to pick up a wine glass of my own, just very delicately. And when she does, Min has, Min has her own claws. But they are a very glittery black with one accented gold nail. She's gonna kind of pick up her glass. And she's gonna slowly walk over. I'm terribly sorry for asking this. Okay. I heard that you're a bit of a collector, and I'm such a sucker for a good library. I heard that you had a phenomenal one, and I was wondering if you can.
I would love to show you my library. Does anyone else want to see the library? Or is it just this charming young woman here?
I'll certainly tag along.
Wonderful. Follow me. And he walks far faster than his little leg should carry him, just trotting along the hall. And you see servants.
I grab 2 glasses of wine.
Wise idea.
As you guys walk into the library, I made descriptions of all of these rooms. You see the library, which is a circular, spiraling confusion of a room with black wooden shelves piled with tomes. There is a grand piano just in the corner. Doesn't look like it's ever been played, is clearly there for decoration, has a golden varnish on it, but you see it's just spirals and spirals of books. There's a desk that's covered in books, but again, the books don't look like they've been opened. It looks like someone who put stuff on a coffee table, and you see Cresta goes, my gem, well, one of my gems. There are plenty of them out there. You saw my gems out there. It was a good joke, right?
I will say, Min can't help but laugh at that. I don't know if she's laughing because she feels bad for him or not, though.
Who is? If you are laughing, I'm making a note of this. So Min is laughing. Got it. Okay.
Okay. So Min's laughing along with him.
Great.
And
Achilles is going to attempt to try and laugh.
Roll me a deception check.
You poor bastard.
Jason will do that very gracious, like, laugh along sort of thing, like, yeah.
Persephone's just gonna like giggle and like cover her mouth with her hand so he doesn't tell that it's not a smiling giggle.
We're so unsettled, guys.
Achilles, what did you get?
Apparently, I'm the one rolling. So 16.
I'm gonna say with the 16, his eyes are on Minerva. Like, you could have totally botched this, and he's just looking at how hot Minerva looks. And like occasionally looking at Persephone and occasionally looking at Jason.
You're wearing the wrong colors, sir.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to slide up next, if you will.
You're like this. He's here.
But actually, yeah, because I mean, I'm typically to the top of my horns, I'm 5'3".
Mm-hmm.
So I'm about 5 inches taller than him. But I would like to kind of like come up next to him and our shoulders are gonna brush together. And so I heard that I've had a very hard time finding about this. So if you don't mind, I was very interested to see if you do you have any literature on Raska or anything that I could maybe look over? like I said, I've had such a hard time finding anything, and you have such a large collection.
Oh, I'm so glad that you noticed how big my collection is. This time he looks at Achilles as he says that, looks down, looks up, winks, and looks back at Minerva. So, I am going to say, I don't like staying in here for very long because it is quite intimidating. But if you would like to take some time in here, you can. I have so many other rooms I could show you all. I'm afraid my attention span is not what it used to be.
Well, I would love to see everything else that you have. If you would be so kind. I know that you probably have people who would usually do this for you, but I do find that the personal tours they're always so much more fun.
Oh, well, it's up to you. You can either stay in here and look to your heart's desire. You can't steal anything, even if you tried. But it's up to you. You can stay here, or you can come with me. I have so much to show you. You said you had a vested interest in some of my, shall we say, assets. I'm a smart man. I know why you're here. But where would you like to go? What would you like to do?
My mother is watching this stream.
I'd be very
Up to the floor.
Literally, I just was like everything I was about to say. I was like, my mom's in here.
I have a particular interest in your weapons.
You see, he takes a swig of something in his glass. You can't really tell what it is, and he goes, "Yes, I in my study is where I keep my weapons. Would you like to see them? And Miss Minerva, if you want to stay in here and look at the books, you're more than welcome to."
Jason, I would like to look at you. Would you like me to come with? Do you want to continue would you like to continue to tag team this guy?
I think probably the look that Jason is giving you've probably seen before as a see if this guy is very neutral. It would be like a see if you can find information here sort of thing. Come along if you want, but if not, see if you can find like anything juicy that might aid us.
That's what I do best. Okay. So I'll go ahead. We'll play along. Well, I mean, as you've already gathered, I'm quite the sucker for a good book.
Yes.
So if that's okay with you, like you said, I obviously cannot steal anything. I wouldn't have a pocket to put it in if I tried.
Oh, that is true. Well, he looks at your breast and looks back up. Yes.
Minerva is an expert in literature and information.
Yes, that's what I've heard.
Top of her field.
Best in the biz, I'm sure. Well, the rest of you, if you'd like to follow me to the study, and he whisks out.
Yep.
And we'll get back to you, Minerva, in just a moment. As you please eat the food. He takes you into the study. It is a lush, purple carpeted room that seems to inspire sleep and napping rather than studying. There are several low chaise lounges to lie on, covered in plush purple curtains and silver covers, and there is a large window with stained glass depicting the victory of Asilla over the undead of Skahak, which she currently rules. It's the Shadowfell, for those of you who don't know Romithra. Asilla is depicted as a stoic, beautiful, silver-haired woman with hummingbird blue-colored wings, which is interesting because he worships Kusilu. You see that along the walls, you see the plethora of weapons that were talked about. You see Hun among the, because there are not as many shelves here. There are lower cabinets made out of that same like deep chestnut, as well as a desk that is again covered in papers that clearly have not actually been looked at. And he gestures and goes, "Ta-da! Your weapons! That's what you were interested in, right, dear Jason? I don't know about you two, Persephone and Achilles, but I'm here to answer."
You certainly have a collection here.
I do. Thank you for noticing.
I recognize a few of these.
Really?
Yes, if you've heard of me, you've perhaps heard of my voyage on the Argo.
Of course I've heard of your voyage on the Argo.
Yes, several. I came across quite a few fascinating pieces in my time there. I was wondering if you'd like to hear about it.
Do tell. Persephone and Achilles, you get the feeling that the two of you could move on with no problem if you wanted to.
I nudge Achilles. I'm like, we've heard this so many times. Can we get out of here?
Yeah, I feel
And
like-
every time it gets worse.
yeah, it's just every single time it's new details added. Like, honestly, dude, just tell the story. So I take Persephone's arms, like, yeah, let's just kind of keep going forward.
And we'll get back to you guys in a moment.
Well, you see, when the harpies were sent after the crew, there was a king that I was dealing with at the time.
Really?
Oh, yes, and he had the most incredible set of daggers that I had ever seen.
I don't have daggers yet.
Ah, then perhaps the court of Phineas of Salmidesus might be a good place to go next for your next piece of the collection.
Well, I'll have to send out an expedition for it. Minerva, even in the library, you get the sudden urge to roll your eyes into the back of your head.
I was gonna say immediately my ears are on fire and I have a migraine. We've been at this for 5 years. The story does not need to change. That's like audible out loud. So anybody who walks by, she's like thumbing through a book, and she goes, "Son of a bitch, Jason."
Achilles, you and Persephone have to walk past the library to get anywhere else, and you just hear "son of a bitch" Jason from one of the rooms.
Oh no, here we go again.
He's at it for the 50th millionth time.
Where would I send someone? I mean, do I need safe passage? How would
It's a fairly coastal. It's a small island off the coast of Zella.
Ooh.
Yes, it was towards the latter half of the trip all the way over there to retrieve the golden fleece.
You see his eyes are like on the golden fleece. Like it is like, may I, if I may be so bold, may I touch it?
Please, go ahead. Quite
He-
soft, you'd be surprised.
Daintily pets it with the claw and accidentally grazes your shoulder just a little bit. You can't tell if it was accidental or not, and goes back to the fleece. It is quite soft. Maybe someday, well, when you become a hero and don't need it anymore, you can donate it.
Ah, yes, when I become a hero.
If Krestek could be lit on fire from mind power, I feel like he would be right now.
Yeah, I feel like yeah, I feel like Jason definitely, like, when he hears the phrase become a hero, because he very much thinks of himself as a hero. He very much is like he tries not to show it, but like it internally feels a little bit of a dig there, but he's going to brush it off and just focus, because challenges are but tests.
You see, suddenly he goes, "Oh, you know what? I should go check in the kitchen to make sure the first course is about ready. We'll ring a very loud bell when you need to come in." And he scuttles off, leaving you in the study, which we'll get back to once we address Persephone and Achilles. And then, so the order is going to be Persephone and Achilles. We're going to jump back to Minerva, and we're going to jump to Jason. So Persephone and Achilles, there are a couple more places. There's the cellar and the courtyard, which you know are the other two rooms of note that you had remembered. He has the courtyard with all the herbs and the animals, and he has the cellar where he stockpiles all of his rare wines. Where would
I
you
feel
like to
along
go?
the way? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, please.
I feel like along the way, Achilles is going to be calling to Persephone. He's like, "What do you think? Should we show him the animal first? Talk about that, or should we try and get him drunk first?"
I feel like drunk might be a better option. But also, what the hell did you two cook up?
I felt like this mixture would be very good, flavor-wise and potency-wise. I'm gonna pull out the bottle, show it off. It's like, and we resealed it and looks really good. It's very fancy. We need to come up with where this came from because I need a way to upsell this.
I mean, you could go with the one place that's burnt down and you can't get anything out of, so the Grove of the Druids of the Jerkshire Woods. You could never compare it to anything.
I'm gonna like place a hand on Persene's shoulder. Are you okay talking about that?
I mean, he doesn't need to know it was my grove.
Quick, like pulling in, like sister hug, like okay, we got this, and I guess head towards the cellar.
As you guys walk down into the cellar, you see that it is a stockpile of wines and liquors. The gold and silver wrapped bottles are stacked almost impossibly high on these black marble shelves, and barrels of ale line the walls in whiskey-aged caskets.
Achilles sweats profusely.
And hold your horses. Don't touch anything. Sir, do not put them in wherever the fuck you put them. Because we don't know. You just procure these things.
The question, where does Achilles put the bottles of wines he takes? We don't know.
Yes, the wine bag of holding. Where's the wine bag of holding? Okay. Anyway.
I feel like he would know if you took something.
Not gonna take anything. Like you know, like you feel the arm tighten around you, like in your arm. Just, am I taking anything? I'm not taking anything.
Okay. Do we leave the bottle for him, or do we see if we can find something to get him talking about this after he deals with Jason's story?
Well, if I know Jason's story, he's gonna be there for at least 10 minutes. Gives us a chance to look around if we want to.
Okay, let's look around.
We are going to get back to that. We're going to jump back to Min. Min, you are looking through the study. Can I have you, my dear sweet darling, make me an investigation check?
I would.
Not the wizard in the study. Nothing can go wrong.
It was the wizard in the study with the candlestick. Surprising, isn't it? It's terrible. So what I'm looking for, just what I would like to, clearly this guy he doesn't fucking care what my life is. But kind of like we've already established with the fact that Apu has dropped a gift, I want to see if there's anything in here now that I'm almost essentially immersed in my surrounding that is clearly gift level material. There is no fucking way that this guy had it otherwise. So
Sounds good.
or even like if there's a book that has like essentially like a book that has a broken spine, you know, because it's touched more than anything else. So one of those two things is what I'm particularly looking for. Gift first, book spine second.
You got it. Make me that investigation check.
29.
You motherfucker.
Plus 10.
As you look, the shelves are dusty. It is in your face. It's in your beautiful eyeliner wings. Guy does not tidy his shelves because he doesn't care. But as you run your fingers along, you come across a pristine set of documents bound in leather. It is like bound in this dark brown leather, and it looks like this beautifully preserved set of documents. Do you pull it out?
Yeah, absolutely.
You pull it out, and it is written in that old Romithrin. Like that old Romithrin that no one can read.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna have you make me I'm gonna say with your 29 investigation check, because the DC to find this was 25. I'm gonna say that you are smart enough to know that if you find the right translator, you could figure out what this says. And you see that the symbols around the edge are the symbols of the old gods.
Okay. So, well, and what I know about the way that people do decoding is that, okay, so I would like to, okay, so you said there was a desk in the study, correct?
There is. That is where Jason is currently.
Oh, wait, where am I? Am I in the library?
You're in the library. Jason's in the
Okay,
study.
is there a
Two
desk in
different
the
things.
library?
There is a desk in the library. It is covered in the decorative, like, coffee table books.
Okay.
So, Brain was like, too many desks.
There's so many desks.
There's so many desks in here and nobody uses them.
Oops, all day.
desks.
Oops, all desks.
Doofus save brain, my guy. So what I would like to do, because if it was important enough to be used on a daily, it would be in the study, but it's not. It's in here. I would like to sit down at the library desk. Hanging out with Evelyn too much. I'm playing 4D chess right now. I'm playing 4D chess in my head. I would like to kind of sit and, I don't know, cruise around. I want to look for something that's out of place. It's gonna have those same symbols. It has to. That's the only way that you can find any something like that. So whether or not I'm rummaging through the drawers or kind of going back to just like the shelves, but it is clearly something that you have to sit down to read, so it's going to be within arm's reach.
Make me another investigation check. With your plus frickin' 10.
$26.
With a 26. You discover a couple things.
Spicy.
First of all, you find the well-worn book that you were looking for as you look through the drawers. It is literally the only book that looks like it has any sense of being read. And it is a record keeper. And you see that there are a lot of recent numerical entries that looks like some kind of, some kind of like recent documentation of trades, especially if this guy can, has a trade route. And you see that a lot of these are marked with the letter R. You do not find a guide to this document, because clearly this guy just took it because it was special. But with that high investigation check, you get the sense that he might not actually miss it. You could probably take this and be fine.
Noted. Do I get a feeling about the book and the desk?
So the book and the desk,
a little questionable?
that is a little questionable just because it's so well worn. The best thing for you to do with that high investigation check would be to like make either mental or physical notes of it, because if you take it, it might be missed. This document that is clearly a manifesto of the old gods, not going to be missed. The record keeper for like the transactions will probably be missed.
Okay. Well, then with that said, well, no, not on the back of a very old, expensive document.
Yeah.
I almost hurt my own heart. I would like to, though, with like some, I don't know, scratch paper or loose leaf paper, whatever he's got lying around. I would like to make, essentially like I would like to copy it. At least like, not all of it, because obviously if I copy all of it, I'm going to get busted. But I would like to get like a bulk of it, so that way, and then I want to stuff it inside that notebook.
Sure.
And
I'm going to say that with your, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, same. I just want to stuff it in, but then I'm gonna leave and go find Achilles and Persephone because I clearly don't have a place where I can hide this. But Achilles has a bag of holding somewhere on his leg.
Yeah, what's happening, man? How do you do this?
No,
Somewhere.
It may not be
Okay,
on his
so
leg.
okay, real talk. Originally, I planned like he has like either a backpack or some kind of satchel, but apparently it's now just the pants of holding, according to
Pants of
You-
holding.
You never clarified that you were ever
You never
holding a bag,
did.
so we just thought
I
you
did
were
not.
totally-
I did not. So yeah,
I'm down for the pants of holding. If you want to wear
I like
cargo
the pants
pants
of
that have
holding.
infinite
Pants of
pocket
holding are a
space.
good time. Jason.
But yeah, I would like to take that and leave.
Sounds good. You head for the cellar, and we're going to be there soon. But first, we're going to go to Jason. Jason, you are alone in the study. You see this desk covered in papers. You see these weapons. He has left you alone to go check on dinner. You didn't even get to the best part of the story.
I didn't even get to the best part of the story. It's too bad. So as soon as he leaves the room, Jason is in full like work mode. The first thing I want to there are a couple of things that I want to look at in this room.
Sure.
Number one is I want to look at there's a big display and then several drawers, yes, as far as like weapons go.
Yes, there's basically this big like display cabinet and then drawers with weapons in them.
What I would like to look for is there anything that looks new, anything that does not have dust on it, anything that looks like it was recently installed.
Yeah. You without even an investigation check, because you can see it. You see that there is a sword that looks very new, and it has a pair of gold ASMR wings on the sides.
And it's a gold. It's a sword made of gold. Can I tell
Yes.
if it's gold or gold plated?
Gold plated. It's hefty. It probably could land a blow. But it's got little ASMR wings that are like that are golden, and there's a pearly sheen to the gold plated blade.
Could I possibly make some kind of, is there any like little placard that tells me like what it is? Well, can I make some kind of check to see if I recognize it? Because
Sure.
Jason knows weapons.
I'm gonna say make me a history check with advantage. Because you're in your area.
This is where he thrives. He love a blade.
Frickin'
He
mitten
love
with
a sharp thing.
plus 10 investigation.
I'm rolling like dog shit today, and I don't know why
No!
my dice have decided to be cruel to me. I rolled an 8 and a 9, so that's a 10.
Yeah,
Use
you
the
don't.
dice I was using over the weekend. I'll give you
Which-
some of my good luck. Your purple ones and your green ones.
That's the ones I just rolled.
No!
Buddy, then I stole all your luck. I'm sorry.
How could
So,
you?
Jason, you, even with a 10, you can tell that it's Rapturalian, but that's kind of all you get.
Okay.
It's celestial.
Okay. Okay. He's gonna make a mental note of that because he might be able to get more information about it from his, either from one of his friends, from a general, from his wife.
Yeah.
They know things.
Yeah, they
Jason
do.
is not here to know things. Jason is just here to look hot and swing. Jason is here to look hot and swing a sword when someone needs a sword swung, and to like bark orders and things. The next thing I would like to look at, I guess I would also like to look around and just see what other. Before I move on from the weapons, I kind of want to just, for funsies, see what Jason kind of recognizes.
Sure. Make me a perception check.
Of course, when it's for funsies, I roll a 19 plus
course you
5
do.
for a 24.
You see a lot of Rapturalian weapons. There's a balance of some infernal ones, but Rapturalian clearly outweighs the infernal. You do see Roska's bow that is hanging up with its gold sheen, and it has the mark of the condor on it. You see a pair of like knuckled gloves that might belong to a monk that are hanging from a string, but they're polished and shiny on the knuckles like this platinum. You see there is a flame ton sword, but if like flame ton was, you know, times a million, like turbo flame ton, like it looks like it is
Like-
practically made of fire just looking
Is
at it.
Would you say it's a flaming, raging, poisoning sword of doom?
I don't understand that reference. I'm still mad about
That's
it though.
okay. The people who watch the Adventure Zone will. I know some of you are out there. Duck,
Damn
that's
it!
for you.
Getting Venture Zone up in this bitch.
That's just for you, Duck.
Just for you, Duck.
You know that he's sitting at his table right now going, son
Son of a
Yeah.
bitch.
Cool. Okay.
But those are kind of like the notable ones. Everything else is kind of like shinies. There's a lot of shinies.
No, this has actually given me a very, very good piece of information. Literally, like, I play fucking 4D chess for no reason. It's a good time. The other thing I would like to do is that you said there were documents on the desk.
There
I
are.
would like to look through these documents, and see if, because you said that if I recall correctly, you said there were documents on the desk that looked like they hadn't really been touched.
Yeah, they look
I
like they were delivered to
like-
him.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
I just would kind of like to see if I can find like dates, like if these are recent documents, and possibly what a glimpse at maybe not necessarily the content, because if they're I don't know if it's just like loose papers or if it's like packages of documents, but if I can get a sense of at least, are these recent documents, who are they from? Those are the kind of two main things. Are they recent? Who are they from?
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
I'm gonna do the purple one that gave me the 19, and I'm gonna hope it gives me another 19. That was cocked.
Oh, buddy.
Investigation, that's a 6.
Yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit. Like, it's literally just it's ramblings, it's like random sketches, it's like one looks like a manor blueprint. Like, it's nothing pops out at you. There are packets of papers, and some of them don't even look like they have an alignment. It looks like he's like got building plans, and he's got like
So it's just regular rich people.
it's regular
nonsense.
rich people nonsense.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there was one. Oh, I would like to actually look through the drawers underneath the weapons display.
I will allow you one more investigation check.
Yes. Because I want to see what's in there, because he mentioned that he doesn't have daggers, which strikes me as strange. I want to see. That's a 12.
You open the drawers and there looks like there's some like shorter swords, like almost daggers, but not quite.
Like
Like
the difference
smaller.
between a tall hill and a mountain.
100%. It really is. It's like, okay, you don't have daggers, but you have little swords. It's very pedantic. And these look very decorative. These look like, you know, he hasn't put them out because they're not quite as shiny as the others. And as you're looking through the doors, you actually hear and you turn and you see there is a bugbear there just going, dinner will be served quite shortly, if you don't mind.
Yes, thank you for letting me know. I'll be up in just a moment.
Thank you. To the cellar! Achilles and Persephone, go ahead and make me, well, what are you looking for exactly? Are you looking for another kind of drink? What you doing?
I'm specifically looking for Rapturnilian wine and see if there's anything that has been recently placed in the cellar. Anything that...
Sure. What about you, Persephone? Are you looking for anything in particular? You are muted, my friend.
I said I'll actually do the help action.
Sure.
I would know what those bottles look like.
What are you doing to help? So it's because you know what they look like. I mean, the two of you being former Rapturalian army members would lend itself quite well to you recognizing this. So yeah, a help action makes sense. But what exactly are you doing in this moment?
I am going to like follow behind you because I feel like he might have already had something to drink with bottles. And double
You're
checking.
double checking
everything.
behind me, essentially.
What did you put in your pants? All right, go ahead and make that investigation roll with advantage.
See, I don't know why I'm the one doing investigation with my whole -2.
I don't know why
Oh,
either, my
shit.
friend. I really don't.
I should have done it. Sorry.
Well, with a negative, that's a 3,
Oh
and
my God.
No.
there we go. 16.
Nice. With a 16, you don't really know what the most recent wine here is, but there's definitely quite a bit of Rapturalian wine. You see some bottles of tequila from the Wilhelm Mountains, and like ales, dwarven ales, and stuff like that. But they're really, you can't really tell what the oldest one is, but you definitely see some newer looking Rapturalian bottles. But they also might look kind of just as new as that infernal one over there. It's kind of hard to tell.
I'm beginning to believe that he's stocking up his cellar from both sides.
Oh, absolutely. He's neutral.
We're gonna have to upsell this as hard as possible.
Yeah. I hope the bottle of wine you made is really good.
I guess we're gonna find out.
Minerva, this is about the time you come into the cellar and see the two of them looking around.
Please don't steal anything. Did you find anything?
That's what I said.
I have been a good boy.
Well, thank God for that. Well, actually, thank Hells. Thank Hells for that.
I was gonna say,
mean,
thank
how-
God.
how
Don't tell
God?
me you're about to turn cloak too.
Oh. I back away slowly.
If I hadn't found some really interesting paperwork that I intend to take home with me, and she's gonna produce this tome and put this shit in your pocket
Wherever it goes.
or wherever.
We're officially
Unless-
giving Achilles a bag of holding, okay? We're giving Achilles
I
a
was
bag
gonna
of
talk.
holding.
I was gonna talk to you about that after
We're
session.
just gonna sew it into the pants, like we're doing what we can.
Yes.
And I think at this point you hear the bell for dinner.
Okay. Well, we'll have to discuss the displacer business later.
Yeah.
We probably shouldn't be late. That is bad manners.
As you guys
Yes.
all meet at the table, and we're just about to end of stream, so I'm going to give you guys a bit of a closing scene, if you will. You all sit down in the plush seats, and it is just the first course that comes out are charred mushrooms picked from the wreckage of the Zelen forest, seared with herbs and cheese. Persephone, how you feeling, buddy?
Pissed.
What's going on? As you see the
I-
servants set these places, it looks beautiful. It's got like little herbs. It's got like these beautiful charred mushrooms, but you know the smell immediately.
I take like a deep breath, even though I know it's just gonna make the smell worse for me, and I just try to hold it together and have that fake smile that I so like well know that I used to have to do for different parties.
The second course that comes out, gold flake covered chicken breasts cooked over infernalia flames with a vegetarian substitute of some kind of plant woven concoction. It is almost grotesque. It comes out, it is very well cooked, but like just random flakes. And you see Crested is like letting all the courses hit the table and just kind of sitting there like twirling a little gold piece between his claws and watching to see what your reactions are to each of the dishes. And the final thing that gets sit down is a devil's food dark chocolate cake. And as all the food hits the table, yes, my friend,
Is he eating?
he has not touched his food yet. All of you have, as you're about to dig in.
Oh, okay. So the course. So
He's letting them all
okay.
hit the table.
I had the impression that it was like a course is laid out.
Oh, you know what? Well, I wanted to do that, but I didn't want to cheat you out of a table discussion.
Oh no. Continue on. That was my mistake.
But no worries. So they all get sit down on the table, and he kind of has like some to the side that are clearly for later, and he kind of just steeples his claws, and he looks at all of you and says, Well then, Infernals, convince me. And that is where we'll end our session.
Ooh, that was so good.
So that is the end of the first session of All's Fair. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I saw we had a raid, 2 raids while we were playing. I'm almost like, can we go for another half hour? But that would be so late. But we saw Bards of New York raided in, and we got some follows. It looks like we had I'm just looking right now. People came in with Bards of New York. We had a BioWare and Hannah followed us. Thank you so much. And then Let's Get Rollin', who's a hecking cutie, came in with a raid as well. And thank you all so much for being here. How are you guys doing? How are your games? We want to hear about it. We want to, and thank you, Farls, for the follow. We really, really appreciate it. But please tell me what you were doing. Let's get, I'd love to hear about what you guys were doing. Please let me know. But this was our first session of our special mini campaign. These are our, I don't know what to call you guys, like devilish cuties. I don't know. You're all pretty cute. Hot party. Hot party.
We're the hottest hell party.
You are the hottest hell party.
We are the hottest hell party. Hello.
But thank you so much to Churney Adventures for doing sound, and Magic for being my backstage person. I super appreciate it because I was already stressed enough just running the campaign, let alone doing anything else. So we're gonna do a quick go around and let's talk about where we can find you guys. Let's start with Doofus.
Oh, hi, put me up front. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, I am Doofus or Doofus Domain Cleric. You can find me on TikTok at Doofus Domain Cleric, and I'm here to encourage you to commit tax fraud.
No, for legal reasons that's a joke. For legal reasons that's a joke.
For legal reasons that's a joke.
Yes.
Let's go to Sweden Lore.
Well, hi, hello. Hello, my name is Sweet and Lore. You can find me here playing the lovely Minerva. And in the upcoming Odyssey campaign as well. So if you guys aren't following us now, why? But you should definitely be following us in the future. That said, you can find me here on Twitch, /Sweet and Lore. I will be doing some pop-up streams this Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday because I was out of town last weekend, and then I will be making a guest appearance on our very own Churney Adventure stream this weekend. So please come hang out this week. We're gonna play some Weird Lands and get some prep work done so I can go turn Churney's hair into a paint by number. You can also find me on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter posting the weirdest things.
Amazing. Lily Pandas.
I am Lily Pandas or Lily. I actually don't stream. You can just find me here.
We love having you here on your first ever. This was Lily Panda's first ever Magic Academy stream. We are so excited to have you here. You did a phenomenal job, and I can't wait for more. And lastly, Evelyn Sometimes. Where can we find you, Evelyn?
Hi, I'm Evelyn. Sometimes I'm here on Twitch mostly. I'm also on Tumblr. Tumblr's not dead. I won't let it go. So you can find me here Wednesdays and Fridays over on my Twitch channel doing some art. Recently I've been working on a project for the next season of Magic Academy, so if you want to see how that's coming along, come hang out. I'm hopefully gonna start coloring things this week, so that'll be super fun. But I like to do a lot of different art related things, so come hang out.
Amazing. So thank you guys so much for being here. It's such a blast getting to bring, you guys together to do this mini campaign. I can't wait for next week. So we are going on Mondays at 6:30 p.m. Central until we end it on May 29th. And tomorrow at What about you, Tipsy?
Yeah, that's what I was
I
about to
tried,
say.
man. I tried.
We all were like,
So
Nice
all
try.
jokes aside, I was absolutely gonna get to it because I'm promoting tomorrow, which was gonna be my segue. So tomorrow you can actually find me back on the Magic Academy with Magic Sheep, our headmaster, because we will be playing Till the Last Gasp, which is a board game where the two players duel. No, I'm not gonna
Is
lose.
nobody gonna acknowledge
Fucking-
the fact
fucking
that the
fight me.
disembodied
Fucking
voice?
fight me, Magic.
it's because
Welcome
they
to the
can't
distant-
hear him.
And so you guys don't know this, but Magic is talking in the backstage and freaking me out right now.
That's like the most uncomfortable reaction. I can just picture somebody being like, if he's talking about a board game, why is Lore freaking out?
I'm
I'm
like,
like,
the whole
make it stop.
so you got I'm so like our poor sound person is like they can't hear him.
A disembodied voice. You're going to fail.
You're going to lose. But Magic and I'm gonna kick his ass until the last gasp. We're gonna fight. And you can find me here on the Magic Academy. I'm also a part of the Odyssey campaign that is coming up, and of course, Game Master for here. And I'm also the Game Master of the homebrew world of Romithra. I have a TikTok at the Tipsy Tiger. I have my own Discord. I have Start Playing. I have Ko-fi. I have Patreon, and I'm a Twitch streamer. Look me up. Hit me up. I would love to meet new friends, and I would love to absolutely, get you guys at a table or just, coming to see more stuff. We always have stuff going on at the Magic Academy, so please grab those raid emotes. We are going to do our heckin' raid. And thank you guys so much for being here. I don't think I've missed anything else unless I get a DM saying, Tipsy, you missed something. But as Magic says, be kind and love each other. It's only going to get darker in this game from here. Have a good night, everyone.
Save us.
I'm holding
And
as long as I need to.